Saturday's Elimination Chamber pay-per-view delivered some amazing action and put a few deserving names in the spotlight. But most of what we saw was table setting for WrestleMania 39. Tonight's show dealt with the fallout from the Chamber as well as began the journey toward the biggest show of the year. Austin Theory had about 2 days to recover from his brutal Chamber match before he defended his United States Heavyweight Championship again. This time, Edge was his challenger. We also saw Mustafa Ali take on Dolph Ziggler after several weeks of back and forth arguments between the two backstage. Let's take a look at what went down during tonight's show as we officially begin the road to WrestleMania. For this is Ridiculously Raw. Welcome, everybody, to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube and StreamYard.com today. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined by good old MF Michael Fletcher. We are awaiting, perhaps, the presence of the Phenom Michael Bullock. If he comes in, we'll catch him up on what he missed. If not, then we'll hopefully have him back with us Wednesday night for Wednesday Night Madness. Monday Night Raw live from the Canadian Tire Center in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, the home of the NHL's Ottawa Senators. Tonight, we officially begin the road to WrestleMania 39. It's all about WrestleMania 39 for the next 6 weeks. So buckle in and enjoy the ride because it's going to damn sure be a bumpy one. So we started it off with an in-ring segment. Sami Zayn, he cuts a promo. He calls out Kevin Owens. He basically said it to KO. You couldn't beat the Bloodline alone. I couldn't beat the Bloodline alone. Let's do it together. But KO told him no. He says, I'll continue to fight them alone. And you know what? If you want help beating the Bloodline, ask your buddy Jey Uso. Oh, okay. WWE has several weeks until WrestleMania, so it was smart to keep the tension between Zayn and KO going for now. There is no need to rush their reunion. This was a fantastic way to open the show. But then afterwards, as Sami was heading to the back, he got back jumped by Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin attacks Sami Zayn, and it leads into an impromptu match. Sami Zayn squaring off against Baron Corbin, and Sami Zayn wins the match in roughly an even 9 minutes. All right. I'll give the match about 2.5 to 3 stars for the effort. All right. It ended up being a longer match than expected. They went back and forth a bit and fought through another commercial break. This bout was designed to build even more support for Sami. He just went through a war on Saturday night and still had the scars on his back to prove it. So feeding him Baron Corbin was an easy way to give him a victory without bringing the Bloodline into it. Sami scored the win with the Helluva Kick. It was not this was not meant to be a 5-star classic, but it did exactly what it needed to do. Zayn looked like a valiant fighter, and Corbin played a petty heel like usual. The video package recapping Zayn versus Reigns was great. The WWE production team never fails to amplify a story with these videos. Zayn might have one of the best babyface theme songs of all time. How can you not cheer for a guy when you hear that upbeat music hit? Owens and Zayn's story is going to be made into an awesome documentary at some point. And it's still very weird to all of us that Baron Corbin, of all people, was the last person to defeat Roman Reigns. And Corbin always makes the Deep Six look cool. It should be his finisher instead of the End of Days. But it's a bit too late to make that change now. So I like the promo a smidgen better, but the match was about 2.5 to 3 stars for the effort. So this is really long-term booking. That's what it is. It's long-term storytelling. This is what has been, the main focal point of Triple H's creative. And we got a long ways to go. We still have 6 weeks to build this thing. I know a lot of people, really want to see the payoff right away. There's a lot of impatient fans out there. I'll admit I'm one of them. But at the same time, build it up. And once they do reunite, and it's going to happen at some point, when it does happen, it's going to be the most epic and awesome reunion of buddies since the legendary reunion of Shawn Michaels and Triple H on that Monday Night Raw back in June of 2006 when they reunited and reformed D-Generation X. So we're gonna get the Goosies soon enough. So, and when that happens, it will, because it's obvious. It's obvious when the minute he brought KO out, it's obvious that the plan is at WrestleMania for it to be Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens not only squaring off with the Usos for the Undisputed Tag Team Championship, but also winning the Undisputed Tag Team Championship from the Usos at WrestleMania at SoFi. Promo, I would say maybe segment of the night. And as far as the match goes, 2.5, teetering on 3. So not much more to say here. MF, no Sami and KO reunion just yet, but don't worry. It's coming. It's all part of Papa H's long-term booking, which has been the main focal point of his regime so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Slow burn. Don't have to rush it. Obviously, the fans want it. I think we're all going to get it. 2 areas where I think it could happen. Boston in 3 weeks, which is March 6th.
2 weeks.
2 weeks from now. All right, I stand corrected. So 2 weeks from now, March 6th in Boston, or maybe they throw it in Providence the week after, where it'll be 2 weeks before WrestleMania, 3 weeks from now on March 13th. I think either or will be the perfect area. It'll be the perfect spot.
Agreed.
So I think either or, we wait. But one thing's for sure, when that happens, like you said, it's going to be the ultimate payoff. So I think what we're looking at right now is definitely the future. Where do they go from here? We'll wait and see. But obviously, they got to throw that caveat. They got to throw the thing. Now, we got to wait and see how that plays out when it comes to what Jey Uso's going to do. Because remember, he threw that at Jey. Jey is not really simpatico right now with Roman Reigns, as you know. Roman tried to get into it, try to get into try to get into Jey Uso, and then we all saw what happened to Jey. Jey got taken out by Sami Zayn. And obviously he's going to play that, well, that was a mistake card. Was it? Honestly, truthfully, I don't know. At the end of the day, let's see what's going on. We'll find out. As far as the match goes, I agree. 2.5 stars. Solid match. Nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
All right. Backstage interview. Byron Saxton with a backstage interview with Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio. It was basically Rhea Ripley talking about her upcoming match with Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania. And of course, also hyping up what's going to happen this Friday night on SmackDown in Evansville, Indiana. And we know what's going to happen there. Rhea and Charlotte are going to come face to face. And I swear I can hear MF salivating at the thought of that right here and now, because I know nobody's more excited about that match than he is. And as all of us are, yes, as all of us are, but MF is the most excited about it. And I know he's going to be with a vested interest come Friday night. Trust you me on that. But then Dominic threw in a caveat saying, "Hey, my father has a match on that night. My deadbeat dad has a match on that same show." Yes, he does. Rey Mysterio's gonna have a return match with Karrion Kross. And Dom says, "Hey, mommy, I might be. I think I'm gonna tag up with you." I wonder what that could mean. Could that possibly be the slow burn to that long-awaited and long-rumored father versus son match at WrestleMania with Rey and Dominic that we've been clamoring for since Dominic turned on his dad and Edge last September at Clash at the Castle in Cardiff. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with that. So we'll see what happens. All right. Then we had the match with Dolph Ziggler squaring off against Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali wins the match 2 minutes and 15 seconds. This honestly was the worst fight of the night. I can only give it 1 star for the effort. These two have a lot in common. Ali might use a few more high flying moves while Ziggler keeps it a bit more grounded, but they can both work at a breakneck pace. After a beautiful counter to the Famouser, Ali pins Ziggler with a crucifix. It was short but fun. This feud's definitely not over. So that's really all there is to say on that. We're not going to waste any time on that. All right. Then we had the number 1 contender for the Raw Women's Championship, Asuka, squaring off against Nikki Cross. And, well, hold on a minute. Actually, no. Before that, we had another in-ring segment. It was Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes interrupted by Paul Heyman via satellite. Paul Heyman appeared on the Titantron there, and in a neck brace, obviously selling the effects of the Stone Cold Stunner from Kevin Owens at the end of the Chamber Saturday night. And, he basically brought reality to Cody Rhodes, talking about if Cody were to win the titles at WrestleMania, you would be on the road 200 days a year defending the title, 50 days of doing red carpet events, and came up with the other things that would keep Cody on the road for over 300 days. And he says, is that the life you want? And, well, so there you go. So Cody and Heyman with that. So MF, you saw it. Paul Heyman laying out the groundwork about what life as a world champion is like in WWE. That is such of the tribal chief as of right now. I mean, you heard the numbers, but maybe not as good as it was a couple of weeks ago.
No.
With the Epic Exchange, but it was still another strong and effective segment.
It was strong and effective in one sense that now you start to see the world of what it means, what happens when you are the champion, and the road and the journey and everything that happens when you are the WWE champion. And, at the end of the day, it was a solid segment. It was a good segment. I don't think it was remotely as incredible or as, what we thought it was going to be. But at the end of the day, I thought they did a solid job with it. I thought they did a good job with the storyline. I think they did a good job, talking about the magnitude of what it means to be the undisputed champion, and just laying the groundwork. It's a slow burn. Obviously, we got 6 weeks to build this baby up. So, I mean, for what it's worth, it was fine. It was okay. Like I said, I think they did a good job with it. I don't think there's really anything bad that they did. I thought they did an all right job. So, nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
There's no question about it. We need a Cody and Roman face-off ASAP. Maybe Boston, maybe Providence. Like MF, like you were talking about earlier, with when they should pull the trigger on the Sammy and Kevin reunion. So, but anywho, like I said, It was nowhere near as good as the segment we saw 2 weeks ago. Not as strong or memorable as an in-ring segment, but it was still a good, effective exchange. Heyman did a good job with the promo. Cody did a wonderful job of selling Heyman's comments while also acknowledging that he saw through the game that Roman and Heyman were playing. Perhaps the most important part of all of this is that Cody was cheered. He was cheered heavily by the Canadian fans. While there are plenty of fans out there who feel that Sami Zayn should have been in the main event of WrestleMania, they're not holding it against Cody. And I'm glad. And that's good.
I agree. He deserves he deserves the recognition and the love. And I'm glad that they did not turn on Cody, because they easily could have.
Absolutely.
Especially that Canadian crowd. Oh yeah. They could have easily gone sour grapes, and they could have given Cody. Yeah, they could have
all over again.
Yeah, they could have given Cody a hard time just for the mere fact that, of what happened to Sami. But I'm glad that the fans gave him the opportunity, and it's given him a chance, because that's what he truly deserves, a chance.
Yes, and how can you not be pulling for Cody, with the story? I mean, the story that he told when he came back. I mean, the night after WrestleMania last year in Dallas. You remember, he said it. The mission was to win, to become the WWE champion, or in this case, the undisputed WWE Universal champion, as an homage to his late father, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, because Dusty never had that opportunity, even though he was the NWA heavyweight champion. But it's a story that, that I'm personally rooting for, because it makes me think of me and my dad, because I'm in the same boat as he is. So, so I know I sympathize with Cody, and yeah, we may not have gotten the epic fairy tale ending for Sami the other night, just like we didn't get it with Drew McIntyre back in Cardiff. But I got a feeling that Cody's going to get the happy ending, and I want to see it more than anybody. Like, you heard my reasoning just now. That's my reasoning right there. So, but man, that's going to be an emotional moment for me personally, if it should happen. I pray it will happen, and I believe it will happen. So we'll see. But second best segment of the night, there's no question about it. So, but I still think we need a Cody and Roman face-off ASAP. That I think that's a good way to, because we got a long way to go to build this thing, and there are some people that are getting impatient about it. So we'll see what happens. So, all right, now let's get into the match with Asuka squaring off against Nikki Cross. Asuka wins the match, 9.5 minutes. And we had a guest, Bianca Belair, the Raw Women's Champion. She sat like near the announce table, did not do any commentary. But 9.5 minutes, Asuka wins. I got to give this about 3, maybe 3.25, because this match was aggressive and saw both women take and deliver some stiff strikes. These two have worked together for several years and had some great encounters, so they have a lot of chemistry as opponents. And Asuka applied her new trademark submission to get the win, but Cross still had a demented smile on her face as she gave up. And this new look Asuka, man. I mean, Asuka has the best paint and best mask in professional wrestling right now. The only other person who has ever been able to do both on this level, a gentleman who I can say is being rumored for a possible induction into the WWE Hall of Fame this year, the Great Muta. And I know I'm probably going to elaborate a little more on that in just a moment, because yes, I read some dirt sheets today, and the Great Muta is being rumored for a possible induction into the 2023 class of the WWE Hall of Fame. Not the headliner, but
no. From what I heard, it's most likely going to be Dave Bautista as the headliner. As a matter of fact, Dave Bautista was supposed to have been inducted into the Hall of Fame, I believe, last year, but due
2020.
2020, but had to,
Pandemic. But it was because of the pandemic, and it was also because of the fact that they wanted to give him his moment in front of fans. And
well, no, not just that, but also his work commitments, his movie commitments would not allow him to do it. So yeah, COVID was one thing. Doing it in front of the crowd was another thing. But the commitments, because he was at the time filming Guardians of the Galaxy 3 at the time that they were talking about doing the inductions. So that's why Dave Bautista did not get, and he actually surrendered his spot to the Hall of Fame.
Gotcha. So that is a new item here. Dave Bautista, the headliner for the year's class. Brady also rumored for induction. And Lillian Garcia, rumored are all and I believe I would not be mad at all. Lillian most certainly to be Hall of Fame. I mean, not just for her announcing, also because singing as well. I mean, it was incredible performance she gave. You know, at WrestleMania, she did America the Beautiful, the national anthem, and on it's a big performance that moved, and that myself.
Whoa! All right. Well, I did not expect that to happen. We briefly lost Anthony Florio. I think his net acted up, and that's why we lost him just briefly. Hopefully, we'll get him back in just a moment. Yeah, when it talks about the rumors, and Anthony did allude to some of the Hall of Famers. Dave Bautista was one that we did hear. The other person that we also heard, the Lillian Garcia thing was actually the first time I heard about that. I didn't hear anything about Lillian Garcia going to the Hall of Fame. It would be awesome if she does. And then the other one, Muda, I did hear that. One other team I heard was maybe the Rock and Roll Express. I heard that could be possible as well. And as a matter of fact, the other person that I heard that maybe, just maybe, could be on the verge of Hall of Fame status, could be Mr. William Regal. So that was also the other person that we heard. So I don't know. We'll wait and see what happens. We'll see how it plays out. As far as guys being inducted into the Hall of Fame, it's going to be very interesting to see. So, did not expect this to happen at all. So let me see if I can pull up the rest of the Raw stuff, and then we can just go from here. Oh, all right, we got Anthony Folio back.
Yep.
The thing froze on you again?
Yep, wobbly connections. So.
Yeah, okay. No, so all I just did, Anthony, was I was just talking about the rumors about who is going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. So I kind of touched on it a little bit that, the Lillian Garcia was the first. I did not know about her. I did hear about Muda. I did hear about Bautista. And one of the other people I heard possibly is Rock and Roll Express.
I think they're already in. Midnight Express.
Midnight Express, yes.
I heard about them too. The Rock and Roll Express are already in. So
yeah.
They went in a number of years ago. But yes, All right. So as I was saying before that rude interruption, and don't be surprised if there's another one anytime soon. Um, yeah, I talked about how Asuka has the best paint and mask in wrestling right now. The only other person who has ever been able to do both on that level was the Great Muta. Asuka and Nikki Cross, both supposed to be unhinged characters, but they do it in completely different ways. Asuka's still focused while Cross seems all over the place. The sound of Asuka kicking the ring post was loud because of the hollow LED setup they use now. It actually made it sound more painful too. And there was a DDT from the middle rope that looked like it was supposed to be a superplex before they adjusted because Cross wasn't going to make it all the way over. If they adjusted on the fly, they did a good job. So this was a solid 3 to 3.25 star match. So and then Bianca came in the ring afterwards, and Asuka and Bianca had a stare down. Oh wow! So 3.25 stars for the match. But MF, if this was the first, the first build for Asuka and Bianca, they nailed it. Just imagine what this build's going to be like.
Yeah, they didn't really need to do much with it. They did what they needed it to do. The story was very good. The layout was fine. So no, as far as it being a build or anything leading up to WrestleMania, they did a good job. They did exactly what they needed it to do. Didn't need to go crazy or wild. So no, this was great. Nothing more to say. Floyd, was yours.
All right, so. And then Carmella backstage interview. She wants to fight Asuka next week. That's going to happen. We're going to see Asuka versus Carmella next Monday night in Grand Rapids. So there's a match for next week. And then there was another backstage moment. MVP calling out Brock Lesnar, and then Omos showed up. So and MVP said that Brock Lesnar, show up next week because Omos wants to challenge you to a match at WrestleMania. Who's excited about that?
No.
That's laughable. Blasphemy.
I think that's a swerve. That has to be a swerve. I think that might be just them playing it just so that they can get the Lashley versus Brock. There's no way that they're gonna give us Omos and Brock. No way. Please no. I mean, Hunter, I hope that's a swerve. I hope you're just doing that just to try to sniff us off the scent. I think that's what it is, because we're hearing Bray Wyatt versus Bobby Lashley, Brock versus I think that's a sniff off the scent. I think they're just trying to sniff us off the scent, because I think he's trying to think that we know too much, or we think we know what's going on. I think he's just trying to throw a monkey wrench at us, just to see if we bite on the bait here, and we're not biting. I think that's the thing. It is. It's that I think this is one of those times where he wants us to think like McMahon here and think, oh, that'd be a great thing for us, and we're like, Hunter,
no,
what are you doing? You know we don't want Omos and Brock. Now, if you want to do that on a future Monday Night Raw, all right, we'll give you it. But for a Raw, not WrestleMania.
That is not even worthy.
It's not even close.
It shouldn't even be discussed.
Yeah.
It shouldn't even be a thought.
I honestly,
we're not even dignifying this.
No, but I'm gonna say this. I honestly believe this is a possible swerve. And I truly believe it's a swerve. I think they're just throwing it out there just to see how the fans are going to react. And once they realize, this is no bueno, no. I think they're gonna change course. I think honestly, we're gonna get Bobby versus Brock one more time, because obviously after that low blow finish, obviously that did not settle anything. But again, I'm thinking maybe triple threat. Like I said, I threw that out there on Sunday night, last night, I honestly thinking it's more and more like we're about to get that. I don't know. We'll see. So
Yeah, we shall. We shall.
Florio, it's yours.
Yeah, we shall. So, yeah, laughable, blasphemy. That's it. So, all right, but let's move on to something a little more exciting, even though it's not. But but compared to that, this is more exciting. Seth Rollins squaring off against The Miz. Seth Rollins wins the match, 11 minutes and 5 seconds. MF, Seth Rollins back on track after he got screwed by Logan Paul out of the United States Heavyweight Championship. We know it's going to be Seth Rollins and Logan Paul at WrestleMania, but earlier in a backstage segment, Maurice showed up, and today happens to be their 9th wedding anniversary. So, and you notice that Maurice presented her husband with this golden envelope, almost like something out of the Academy Awards or something. But we don't know the contents of it. But we are going to find out the contents of it next Monday night on Raw. So
I got a bad feeling what that contents mean or what the heck that they're about to do with Miz and Maurice. I'm not really too whatever about it.
Could it be a possible? I think I have an idea on what you're thinking. A possible Miz TV segment at Mania?
I don't know. I just don't really care. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't. There's nothing there that really gives me any thoughts or any fiber or any excitement or anything. I just don't got anything about it. It's just, it is what it is.
It depends on what the content is. And we're gonna find out next week. Is it? I mean, we're all expecting it to be something stupid, something awful, something bad, something Lesnar and Omos bad. But
the only thing I can think of is maybe he gets that golden ticket might mean that he might become maybe the what do they call it? Maybe the host of WrestleMania.
That's a possibility.
Because remember, it is LA. It is staple. I mean, it is SoFi. So I mean, what? Maybe that might be him. Maybe that could be the announcement that he could be the official host of WrestleMania.
We've had hosts before.
I mean, why not?
The Rock. The Rock served as the host of 27. Hulk Hogan was served as the host of 30. And most recently, I believe, then we also had Alexa Bliss as the host of WrestleMania 35. And the last time I remember was 37, co-hosted by Hulk Hogan and Titus O'Neil.
Yeah.
So could it be The Miz? Could that be the announcement that Miz and or Maurice could be serving as the host or hosts of WrestleMania?
Yeah.
So that's a very realistic possibility. But a more serious business, though, MF. Seth Rollins versus The Miz one-on-one. Seth Rollins wins 11:05. It's very clear. He's on we know it's going to be him and Logan Paul at Mania, but the big question is, what about The Miz? And we just speculated. So your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, no, I thought this was a fine match. I thought this was a good story. He won the match. He won the battle. He won the fight. There was really nothing more to say. It was amazing. It was fine for what it was worth. The Miz and Seth Rollins does a dependable job. It was good for what it needed it to be. It was a great battle, a great fight, and for Seth Rollins, this is what it needed it to be. It needed it to be one of those battles where they proved to him that he was the best, that he proves to the world that he was incredible, that he got the big win. And for Rollins, in his mind, he's like, look, I think the biggest story of it was the interview he had with Kathy Kelly. And that was Rollins basically daring Logan Paul, you think this is a joke, you think this is something to be laughing about, you got no idea what you're messing with. and you're gonna get hurt real bad. You mess with me twice. You screwed me once. I let you live. You screwed me again. The next time I see you, I'm putting you through the ground. I'm putting you through the ring. And it is going to be epic. Seth Rollins is gotten the world on his side. Logan Paul is not welcome in a WWE arena, not welcome in a WWE venue. And if he decides to show up, he is going to be crucified as bad as Roman Reigns got crucified at Chamber. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nothing more. It's yours, Anthony.
Do you have a rating for the match?
I'll give it 3.
3.25 for me. There were 1 or 2 spots that didn't work so well, but for the most part, this was a pretty good performance from both men. We didn't see anything groundbreaking, but they played both their parts well. And we don't often get referee stoppage decisions, but we had one here. And all right, Miz and Maurice had a backstage segment where Miz was handed an envelope. He seemed excited about the contents, but said he wouldn't reveal it yet, but he'll reveal it next week. Miz was sent over the announce desk by a dropkick. The whole thing looked awesome. It always looks so much more painful when someone hits a turnbuckle chest first instead of turning so their back hits it. There was an awkward moment when they were trading pins and Rollins had to adjust so the Miz's shoulders actually touched the mat. 3.25 stars for that. And then from there, we had the Ding Dong Hello Bailey. Her guests were Io Sky and Dakota Kai, the women's tag team champions, Damage Control, and they were interrupted by Becky Lynch. And Becky Lynch says, "Hey, Dakota and Io, you haven't defended those tag team titles in so long that I'm beginning to see cobwebs on those things."
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "You know what? I want to take the tag team titles and I want to, go into WrestleMania as the tag team champions." And then they're like, "Oh yeah, okay." And then they were going and saying, "Yeah, you don't have any friends." Lita shows up again. Lita showed up, and they made the challenge. Bayley accepted, and next Monday night on Raw at the Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Damage Control, Dakota Kai and Io Sky will defend the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships against Becky Lynch and Lita. And there was a rumor there was a rumor going around that that Trish Stratus was supposed to show up on this show tonight and set up a possible 6th woman with Becky, that rumored 6th woman with Becky, Lita, and Trish against Damage Control for WrestleMania. Obviously, this is more long-term booking storytelling here, and I'd say the third best segment of the night here. And it was a little annoying at first, but then once Becky and Lita showed up, that's when business picked up. And Becky and Lita got really good reactions coming out, but the segment seemed to lose the crowd a bit as it went on. They didn't, and now we know that we will see the women's tag team title matchup next Monday night. So not much more for me to say. Third best segment of the night. So MF, how about it? Next week, Dakota and Io will be defending the women's tag team titles against Becky Lynch and Lita. Brace yourself, Grand Rapids.
Yeah, Grand Rapids is getting a hell of a match, no doubt about it. I don't know if I would have said that was the right thing or the best thing for it, but I'm not going to argue it. I think it'll be a fine match. I think it'll be a hell of a battle. I just don't know if if I would have been more inclined for that, but it is what it is. I'm happy that they're actually going with the route. I'm actually happy that they're doing it. Yeah, so I think it's going to be really good, and I think it's going to be enjoyable to watch, and there's really nothing more to add. So yeah, Anthony, I can't wait for next weekend. There's really nothing more to add, so it's yours, my friend.
Then we had Bronson Reed squaring off against Chad Gable. Bronson Reed wins the match, 3 minutes and 15 seconds. I could probably give that about 1.5 for the effort. Quick
Mhm.
match that had a few great moments, but it definitely could have been a few minutes longer. So, um, second worst fight of the night. That was about a 1.5. And then Elias stood in the ring, hoping. I was talking about Rick Boogs, and then he gets interrupted by Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley lays him out, and that's really all there is to say on that. Um, nothing really to get excited about there. Next Monday night on Raw from the Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Dakota Kai and Io Sky will defend the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship against Becky Lynch and Lita. Candice LeRae will be going one-on-one with Piper Niven. We'll see about Brock Lesnar and Omos. We'll see what happens with that. Asuka versus Carmella one-on-one. And Miz TV, a special WrestleMania Goes Hollywood edition. We'll find out what the content was of that envelope. So that idea that MF had, I would not be surprised if that was it. So, all right, now we move on to the big main event of the evening. The United States Heavyweight Championship on the line. The champion Austin Theory defending against the Rated R Superstar and Hall of Famer Edge. Winner of the match, 18 minutes and 55 seconds. And still the United States Heavyweight Champion, Austin Theory, MF, Finn Balor. Finn Balor showed up. We thought it was done the other night. This thing's far from over.
Far from over, and the crowd goes pissed. Not happy with the ending, not happy with the outcome. Fight of the night, no doubt about it. Again, another 4.25. Could have gone higher, but the finish absolutely drowns it out. It was a very good matchup, and I really enjoyed it. But I'm sorry, man. I was very disappointed with the way that the match ended. But at the end of the day, it did what it needed it to do. It served its purpose. Austin Theory. A lot of people thought maybe Theory loses the belt here. Does not. Successfully defends the title, and now, maybe there's a confirmation. There's rumors about him and John Cena now, and maybe that could be a possible something. But like I said, it didn't need it for the title. I don't know what they're gonna do now, but we do know that he's supposed to be there, and well, we'll find out. But unbelievable situation, and yeah, so we really got nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
4.25, fight of the night, no doubt about it. And all right. WWE built up the match between Edge and Theory throughout the night with a few interviews, so this felt slightly bigger than the usual mid-card title bout on Raw. They were given the last 25 minutes of the show, so they had plenty of time to tell a story. Edge was looking to win his first title since returning, while Theory was looking to take out a living legend after retaining his championship inside the Chamber Saturday night. It was all about the up-and-coming young star versus the grizzled veteran. Edge used his wits to keep the upper hand for the first several minutes, but Theory had the speed and power advantage, so he was able to keep himself in the fight without looking like he was having his butt handed to him. They did a great job making this a competitive bout that followed a logical progression from start to finish. Edge is a pro at this kind of thing, but Theory was doing good work too. Finn Balor ended up interfering toward the end, allowing Theory to hit his finisher for the win. The crowd erupted in boos as Balor kept attacking the Rated R Superstar. Edge getting a huge pop in Canada is as reliable as a Swiss watch. The way Edge dropped Theory on his face at ringside was funnier than it should have been. Theory took a hard bump on the floor during the first commercial break. The counter Edge used to hit a powerbomb when Theory tried to slingshot himself into the ring was an awesome spot. And then Theory tried to hit a monkey flip, and Edge just landed on his feet like it was nothing. That's the kind of thing we expect from Kofi Kingston, not Edge. It was cool, but because it was unexpected. 4.25, fight of the night, no question about it. So with that, let's get into our into the overall review here. I'll give it about a solid 7 here. I mean, it was a fine show. It kind of had a feel of a smidgen of a back to reality feel, if I'm going to be honest with you. But then again, let's be honest. We still have a long ways to go until Mania, and we got a long way to go. And yep, I'm frozen again. So all right, there we are. Um, so all right, I just want to make sure I get everything all set up here. Okay, so Fight of the night was obviously the U.S. title match, um, and then Rollins and Miz, second best fight of the night. We had a few good segments. The Sammy and Kevin segment that started it. Another solid good segment with Cody and Heyman, and then the Ding Dong Hello segment. So I think 7 is the appropriate rating. So we still have a ways to go. I still got a feeling that there's a banger of a Raw coming. I'm hopeful, if not next week in Grand Rapids, then hopefully when we get to Boston in 2 weeks, and heck, when we get to Providence, literally in 3 weeks, hopefully we get a good show out of that. So not much more for me to say. 7 out of 10. MF, your overall thoughts, and then I'll get into my special Tony's take, where I will be previewing the Impact Wrestling No Surrender special that's coming up this Friday night on Impact Plus. So MF, your overall thoughts on this first Raw on the road to WrestleMania 39 tonight.
I say 7 out of 10. I totally agree with everything you just said. Did I think it could have been better? Absolutely. But I think at the end of the day, I think they did a fine job. I don't think there's really not much for us to talk about here. So, yeah, with that said, Anthony, let's get to your Tony's take. It's all yours, my friend.
Yeah, special Tony's take. This Friday night on Impact Plus and on YouTube and on Fight TV, Impact Wrestling will be presenting their monthly specials as part of Impact Plus. It'll eliminate from the Sam's Town Live in Sunrise Manor, Nevada, and it's called No Surrender. 9 total matches. We have 2 on the pre-show, 7 on the main card. On the pre-show, we're going to see Deonna Purrazzo square off against Giselle Shaw, and in the other pre-show match, I'm very surprised this didn't make the main card, because this is a main card worthy matchup. Jonathan Gresham versus Speedball Mike Bailey. How is that not on the main card? I honestly have no clue. But the knockout match I can understand, but this one belongs on the main card. I am just saying. All right. Joe Hendry will square off against Moose in a dot combat match for the Impact Digital Media Championship. Dot combat match means it's basically an anything goes, no DQ matchup. It's a hardcore match. That's really all it is. So don't need to really go into any further detail on that. Frankie Kazarian will go 1-on-1 with Khan of Violent by Design. Knockouts Tag Team Championship on the line. The Death Dolls, Jessica and Taya Valkyrie, will be defending the titles against the Hex, Allison Kay and Marty Bell. I'm sure MF knows those 2 gals very well. I'm sure. The Hex, I'm thinking they're NWA territory, so they're going to be squaring off against the Death Dolls for the Knockouts Tag Team Championship. By the way, when it comes to Henry and Moose, I got this feeling that Henry's going to find a way to win that. Not sure about Kazarian and Khan. Maybe Khan because of the design storyline. I think the Hex are going to win the tag team titles, the Knockouts tag team titles. I got a feeling about them. Time Machine, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, and Kushida. OMF, you're going to love this. They're going to be squaring off against Ace Austin, Chris Bay, and Kenta. You heard me right. Motor City Machine Guns and Kushida against Bullet Clubs, Ace Austin, Chris Bay, and Kenta. 6-man tag. That could literally go either way. But I think the Bullet Club's going to win that match. Fatal 4-way match to determine the number 1 contender for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. Brian Myers will be squaring off against Heath versus PCO versus Steve Macklin. I'm going with Steve Macklin to win that match. Mickie James to defend the Knockouts Championship against Masha Slamovich. I'm leaning towards Mickie, but I wouldn't be surprised if Masha wins the title. And then the main event for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship, champion Josh Alexander defending the title against the challenger and former champion in his own right, Rich Swann. Those two boys are going to steal the damn show. I'm not going to kid you on that. But at the end of the night, I got to go with Josh to retain the title. If anybody's going to dethrone Josh Alexander for the World Heavyweight Championship, I think Steve Macklin will do it. I don't think it's going to be at the March special. I think it's going to be at the Rebellion pay-per-view on April 16th in Toronto. So that's just how I feel about it. So that's all Friday night. Impact Plus, YouTube, Fight TV. It's going to be a great show. So, and I'll have and I will give you my recap of that on this program 1 week from tonight. So with that will put the ball on this edition of Ridiculously Raw. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in as always. MF, usual start times for the rest of the shows this week?
Yes, indeed.
10:30 Wednesday, 10:30 Thursday, and obviously 11 Friday. So, all right. We will next be with you Wednesday Night Madness. MF will have it. Brace Fan 95, 10:30. NXT, AEW Dynamite, as we always do. Thursday, we don't really have much on the docket for TXN Sports World. MF, you have anything for the docket yet, or is it just the All-Star stuff as of right now? I really don't know. So we'll have to put our heads together for the docket for TXN Sports World. That's the only thing I can think of for right now. Friday night at 11, back at our usual start time. It is the Cerebral Smack Talk. MF will have that as well. Friday night SmackDown, AEW Rampage, and then next week we do it all again on Ridiculously Raw. So that's it. So until Wednesday night for Wednesday Night Madness, Anthony Florio here for good old MF Michael Fletcher, and in spirit, the Phenom Michael Bullock, and of course, always and forever, the First Lady Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune Forest style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed couple of days, and until Wednesday night, for Wednesday Night Madness, you've been watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Zone 25 on YouTube and Streamy.com. And remember, my friends, no matter what anyone tells you, beyond anything else, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who's been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long, and bye, everybody, bye.